Avatar Fire and Ash books are starting to pop up on Amazon, that being an illustrated encyclopedia and a new edition of the world of Avatar. But if you dig a little bit deeper, you might even uncover some new information. Avatar Theory here, hope you're doing well and having a fantastic day. And recently on Amazon UK, the German editions of the world of Avatar as well as the illustrated encyclopedia has popped up. And I do want to give a shout out to Avatar Day on Twitter/X who first posted these. And if you go onto Amazon UK, search for Avatar Fire and Ash, you can actually find the German editions of these two books. Now, I don't speak German, so the only thing I really understood when I looked at this first is that one of the books is releasing at the end of December, one of them at the end of November, and aside from the length of the book, that was pretty much it. It was only when I used Google Translate that I could see one of them is Avatar 3 Fire and Ash, the illustrated encyclopedia, the official book of the film with exclusive insights and spectacular original images, whereas the other one says the world of Avatar New Edition, the fascinating world of Pandora in stunning images with exciting insights into Avatar 3. Now, these Amazon pages doesn't include any specific details other than the titles, and considering we already had a World of Avatar book, I can imagine this being essentially an updated version, which includes stuff from The Way of Water, as well as of course Fire and Ash. But interestingly, when I looked up the ISBN of these books, which stands for International Standard Book Number, on the website bookfinder.com, I actually found these books on 4 other Amazon pages. Now, while the Spain page, France and Italy doesn't say anything else about these books, the Belgium website of Amazon does include a little bit more detail. Now, of course, this is directly translated, so some of this information might be lost in translation. So if some of you do speak, then do correct me if Google Translate doesn't do a good job. But firstly, looking at the illustrated encyclopedia, the official book of the film, it states, quote, "The saga continues. The official encyclopedia for Avatar 3, epic illustrated book for Avatar Fire and Ash. All central characters, locations, vehicles and events. Exclusive insights and spectacular original images from the archives of 20th Century Studios, created in close collaboration with James Cameron, an indispensable companion for all Avatar fans. A new adventure has begun. Experience Pandora like never before," end quote. Now, I do just want to pause there and just state that, of course, all of this information could just be placeholder information, but I don't see why all the other Amazon pages wouldn't include this, but the one would. I mean, I remember last time with The Way of Water, some Amazon pages also posted some images and some information for Avatar The Way of Water books ahead of time, and Amazon is known to post and often leak video game information way ahead of its announcement, so it is fair to believe this information, but again, do take it with a grain of salt until we know further information. In any case, the text continues, quote, "In the 3rd installment of the Avatar film series, the fascinating world of Pandora is expanded to include the mysterious Ash Clan, a fierce Na'vi people who live in close connection with the element of fire. This opulent book for the film presents the breathtaking locations, extraordinary creatures, and groundbreaking technologies from Avatar Fire and Ash, accompanied by impressive original images that were personally selected by James Cameron. From detailed props to the Na'vi way of life to Pandora's unique flora and fauna, the Avatar movie book reveals the world of Fire and Ash in boundless depth and provides exclusive background information that goes beyond the film. The official companion book to Avatar Fire and Ash, a stunning journey into the unexplored regions of Pandora," end quote. Now, this book does release on the 30th of December, so it states, and books that usually accompany films like this does release after the movie because it makes sense. Why would you release this before the movie releases? Because it would basically spoil the whole movie. So it'll be interesting to see what exclusive information and what expanded detail there will be included in this book, and it's definitely one that I'm going to buy once it releases. Now, the one that's more interesting is the one titled The World of Avatar New Edition, and again, just like the other Amazon pages, the Spain, France and Italy version doesn't include any detail. However, the Belgium one does include some interesting new information, but one in particular that stands out the most. Now, again, translating this, there might be some text lost in translation, but the text reads, quote, "The ultimate book on the world of Avatar, a breathtaking journey through Pandora in its impressive images, completely revised and expanded, all the important characters, locations and technologies from the first 2 Avatar films, spectacular original film images from the archives of 20th Century Studios, indispensable for Avatar fans, exclusive insights into Avatar 3, a visual homage to James Cameron's cinematic masterpiece, floating mountains, lush rainforests, endless oceans, and now also glowing volcanic landscapes. This visually stunning Avatar book whisks you away to the fascinating world of Pandora and impressively summarizes the events from Avatar: The First Journey and Avatar: The Way of Water. In large format original images and captivating text, the film book sheds light on the customs of the Na'vi, as well as the mysterious flora and fauna of Pandora. As a special bonus, this fully revised new edition includes an exclusive preview of Avatar: Fire and Ash. Fans can marvel at the first images of the mysterious Ash Clan and get ready for the long-awaited sequel, The Boundless World of Avatar, an epic coffee table book that brings Pandora to life." End quote. Now, as I said, some of these texts might not make sense because it's lost in translation, but it's interesting that they say it will bring an exclusive preview of Avatar: Fire and Ash, and considering the release date of this book is at the end of November, I do wonder what they're gonna show. I mean, by that time we probably would have seen 2 trailers of Avatar: Fire and Ash, maybe some behind the scenes footage, some cast interviews that brings us some exclusive scenes, given if we follow the same path of The Way of Water. But what's interesting here is the way they state the first Avatar movie. If you look in the middle, it does say, and I quote, "impressively summarizes the events from Avatar: The First Journey and Avatar: The Way of Water." End quote. It's interesting that they don't just say Avatar and Avatar: The Way of Water. Previously, in many instances when they talk about the first movie, they do say Avatar and Avatar: The Way of Water. So I do wonder why they state the first movie like this. They say Avatar: The First Journey. Does this give us an indication that the first movie is going to be renamed to Avatar: The First Journey? I mean, I've seen this happen in movies before, most famously with Star Wars. I mean, when the first Star Wars movie was released, it was just titled Star Wars, and it was only later on that it was retitled to Episode 4. And it's also been seen in video games. I mean, the first game that comes to mind is The Last of Us Part 1. When Part 2 came out, they kind of remastered the first game and immediately retitled it to The Last of Us Part 1. And I'm certain there are many other movies and games that received a similar treatment, where when the first one came out, it was just the title, but when the second and third one came out, they kind of retitled the first one to fit into the trilogy. So again, this brings up the question, will the first movie essentially get the title Avatar: The First Journey, or was it simply a mistake in Google Translate? Interestingly, when I opened Google Translate itself and I copy that text, it actually gives me Avatar: The Journey to Pandora. So I wonder if that's actually going to be the name, Avatar: The Journey to Pandora. It kind of would make more sense than The First Journey, but it still brings up the question, will the original movie get like a new name treatment in that sense, where they just add The Journey to Pandora or The First Journey or something to that extent after the name Avatar? Or was all this information just somebody being really excited about Avatar: Fire and Ash, making up some text to describe these books, and all of this is incorrect? Again, with none of this being officially confirmed, I would take all of it with a grain of salt, but it is just interesting to see that one Amazon page has a description for not only one book, but both of them, and the way it's written does seem kind of legit, but I would wait for more official confirmation. But regardless, it is interesting to read this, and like I said, given the track record of Amazon and how they posted stuff for The Way of Water ahead of time, I won't be surprised if they do reveal some art pieces or even some book covers way earlier than expected. But what do you think about this? Do you think this information is accurate? Do you think that the original Avatar movie is going to get a colon to its name, basically? Let me know in the comments below, and for more Avatar content, have a look at the rest of my channel. Until next time, have a fantastic day and stay safe.